Welcome back. Now we're going to cover self-publishing, and let's start off with why you'd want to actually do it. Um, it's nice because you get direct, access to your audience, no matter how big of the audience could be, and you get a bigger piece of the retail pie. Time sensitivity, you get full control over the whole process, for the most part, I would say. Um, and you don't have to look for an agent or publisher, which saves you a bunch of time. And here's some tips just to get started on things. So find a good copy editor and proofreader. Have the book designed and typeset. Have a cover designed. Find an affordable short-run printer. Arrange for your book's distribution. Market and publicize the book. And the biggest benefits you can get is really fast. You want a book ready here tomorrow. You could probably get it done. Granted that you have it typeset and you've had it printed and stuff, kind of like that. You get better profits, so you don't have to worry about paying a publisher, paying an agent. You get a lot more money, and you get total control. But at the same time, there are some sucky aspects to it. Excuse me. You can flop. You can have a hard time keeping up. And there's so many ways to mess it up too. Because if you're 20 years old or a first time author and you don't know anything about the industry, you could face a hard time because you're competing against all these big publishing companies, and you're also competing against agents, and you have to have the charm to sell this. And one thing I want to remind people is that being an author and getting a book published is no easy feat, because it's like a 24/7 gig, and you have to do a lot of work and invest into it. And I can only imagine if you're self-publishing, you have to be willing to do 110%. Things to consider though, as you're going on. Make sure you have a professional product. That means get the ISBN and barcode. I was trying to buy a copyright or ISBN number last year for my birthday. It's like a birthday gift to me. It's $35 right now from Library of Congress, I believe. And the one thing that's great is that, yeah, if you self-publish, that by all means you want to do that. But if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to just get a copyright and then give it to a literary agency, I would be wary on that. First, if you issue that copy, like that ISBN, it is only under your name. And I do not believe that you can transfer that to other people. I may be wrong on that, but as far as I know, the ISBN cannot be transferred. And usually a company, like a publishing company, will keep the ISBN number, but you get the full original copyright of the book. Also, copyright will have to be purchased separately. So yeah, that makes sense. Make sure you stand alone from your publishing company. That your publishing company is a very professional and awesome, company. And then you stand by yourself as an author as well. That way it seems like, you have two different facets that are working well together. For the copyright page in your book, don't put your home address. Instead, put a P.O. box. For ebooks, Smashwords is a great resource, because you only need a Word document, and they'll be able to convert it into an ebook format. For your first book, go with paperback for bigger profits. But then if it's doing well, you can always end up going hardcover or whatever. But once you begin with hardcover and try to transfer back, it can be a little bit more difficult. Not impossible, but difficult. Keep track of reprinting or when you have orders coming up, so that way you're not stuck with a bookseller that says, like, yeah, we are out of books, we need them by tomorrow. And you're like, oh my god, it's going to take me like 2 weeks to get them printed. Author service companies are a great resource because they act sort of like a publishing company. They'll take a cut of your profits, but they'll help you with editing, copywriting, design, marketing, publicity. It's a nice, I would say, happy medium between self-publishing and the traditional route of approaching an agent and a publishing company. Likewise, Bookmasters Group and Lightning Source are good choices to print the book. But will distribute the novel for you. Resources that I believe you will need. The product. You need to know you need to get to know your audience, like how the book will apply to them. Like, I remember reading in, I think it was the Essential Guide, that there was an author who was making his book on Xerox copies for like a machining manual, and his mentor was like, "Hey, why don't you just get that actually printed as a book and make money?" And he did, using Xerox paper. And then he was attaching like a small kit in it, and it worked out well. Now it's obviously on professional paper, but think about how you want to reach your audience. Going onward. Money. Yeah, sorry. You often need money, and printing is not cheap. It means you need to figure out how you can invest a little into the project, but don't give up everything, For college students like us, $200 is a lot, but imagine how effectively you can get that printed for, using $200. An audience, of course, you need to have a base where you can reach out, and they're willing to read your book. Selling. Now, some companies have a weird or interesting mechanism for selling. If you do choose to, let's say you have a website, which you should as an author, and you choose to sell based off your website, it would be a good idea to set up a merchant services account with your bank. Amazon's program requires a $30 annual fee, and then we'll start buying your book for 55% of the cover price.